Have you ever felt a silence between you and a man? Not the kind that comes after an argument, but a quieter kind, like a door is closed somewhere inside him, and no matter how tenderly you knock, he won't let you in. It's strange, isn't it? You can be lying right beside him. Your body warms against his, and still feel miles away from his heart. That loneliness, that ache of not knowing what's really happening inside him, it can feel heavier than being alone. And yet, most women never realize. That silence often hides the one secret man almost never speaks aloud. Sometimes when you look at him, you can feel something flicker across his eyes, like a thought he doesn't want you to see. He smiles, he laughs, he talks about his day, but beneath it there's a curtain pulled tight. Have you ever wondered why? Why are men so strong in the world, becoming so fragile when it comes to opening their inner truth? The secret isn't about another woman. It isn't about betrayal. It's deeper, quieter, and far more vulnerable than that. What men hide is how desperately they need to feel chosen, not just loved, not just admired, but chosen in a way that makes them feel irreplaceable. Imagine this. He comes home after a long day, his shoulders heavy with the weight he never talks about. He sees you, and his heart softens, a sigh, but he doesn't say what he's really longing for, because he fears it will sound weak. He fears you'll look at him differently, so he hides it, behind jokes, behind silence, behind distractions. But inside, his deepest desire is simple: to feel like your hero, to feel that in your eyes, he is the one man who could never be replaced. Maybe you felt it before, that pull when he does something small for you, fixes a jar lid, reaches for the heavy bag, or notices the little detail you forgot, and in that moment he lights up. Not because of the action itself, but because of the way you look at him when he does it. That spark in his eyes, that's the secret speaking. And yet, here's the fragile truth. Men will almost never say these words out loud, because to them, needing that kind of reassurance feels too raw, too dangerous, as if it would expose a wound they're not sure you'd hold gently. So instead, they hide it. They wear armor, and you're left wondering why he sometimes feels so far away. But what if you knew this secret? What if you understood that behind his silence, behind his distance, is not rejection, not disinterest, but a yearning to feel like your chosen one? Would it change how you see him? Would it soften the way you lean into his heart? I remember when this realization touched me for the first time. It wasn't dramatic, it was quiet, like a whisper that finally made sense of years of confusion. I began to see the patterns. How he would brighten my smallest words of appreciation, how his walls would soften when I let him know that he was more than enough for me, and suddenly his distance didn't feel like rejection anymore. It felt like a hidden language waiting for me to hear it. There's something profoundly beautiful about understanding this. It changes the dance between two hearts, because instead of trying to break down his walls, you begin to slip through the quiet spaces with tenderness, and he begins to trust that his secret is safe with you. I once found something that explained this hidden truth more deeply than I ever could on my own. It was like being handed a map to a man's secret heart. Every word felt like it was revealing doors I had been knocking on for years, and the more I understood, the more I realized men are not mysterious in the way we think. They are simply carrying a secret longing, hoping we might notice without them ever having to confess it. Maybe that's why you're listening to me now, because some part of you has felt it too. That quiet question that keeps tugging at your heart. Why does he feel so distant sometimes, even when he's right beside me? And perhaps you already know. The answer isn't about changing who you are, but about unlocking something hidden inside him. The secret men hide isn't meant to push you away, it's meant to protect the most tender part of their soul, the part that fears rejection, as the part that longs to feel essential. And when a woman learns to touch that part of him, everything changes. The distance melts, the silence softens, and suddenly he looks at her as if she is the only woman in the world. So if you've ever felt that invisible wall, know this: it isn't your fault. It isn't because you aren't enough. It's simply because no one ever told us the secret men spend their lives hiding, but once you know, you can hold it with tenderness and love him in the way his heart has been quietly waiting for all along. If you'd like to step even deeper into this mystery, there's something I discovered that opened my eyes in ways I never expected. It felt like being guided through the secret chambers of a man's heart, places he could never explain himself but longed for me to see. I'll leave the door open for you if you feel called to explore it too, because once you see what I saw, you'll never look at him the same way again. And as we close this moment together, I just want you to remember you are not alone in this tender journey. The questions you carry in your heart are shared by so many women quietly searching for the same answers. Take a breath, hold on to hope. Because love is never about perfection. It's about understanding what has always been hidden and choosing to see with softer eyes. And if this spoke to you, stay close, because I'll be here reminding you that love's deepest secrets are never meant to be carried alone. Thank you, friends.